Zacks Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. Let's talk about return on equity now with our top stock screener here at Zacks and head of our Research Wizard division, Kevin Matras. And what we're going to talk about exactly as it pertains to return on equity is grading your company's management with return on equity. It's like, how many different things can we do with return on equity?
You know, the return on equity, it's a very, very popular item, and people use it in many different ways. I think it's a good item to use to be able to see how efficient management really is, and I think that's probably one of the most common ways people use it. It is a favorite screening criteria with portfolio managers, investors, including myself, and I really do think it is a wonderful way to see how effective management is at using shareholders' capital. Moreover, I think one of the best ways to use it is to be able to see a company's return on equity steadily increasing, because that shows the company is doing something right.
All right, so how do you define return on equity?
All right, check it out. First off, return on equity shows how much profit a company is making on the shareholder equity, and the definition is this. It is net income divided by shareholder equity, and we're using the trailing 12 months for the shareholder equity. The income portion of the ROE, that is listed on the income statement, and you can identify the shareholder equity as the difference between total assets and total liabilities, and that item is found on a company's balance sheet. Now, ROE is always expressed as a percentage. So if you have a company with an ROE of, let's say, 10%, that means the company has created 10 cents of assets for every $1 of shareholder equity in a given year.
Is there a good level to maintain?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I think one of the best ways to use shareholder equity is to be able to compare it to its average or its median for its industry. Because different industries are going to use different amounts of assets to run their business. So take the steel industry and let's say take the computer software industry, for example. The median ROE for the steel industry right now is 13.5%. But if you were to look at the median ROE for the computer software services industry, their median ROE is 7.5%. So when you say what is a good level, it really depends on what industry you're in. So if you're looking for an absolute number, and let's say you said, show me companies with an ROE of over 10%, you may bypass a lot of great companies just because those types of companies generally don't have a very large ROE. So I believe the best way to really make an apples-to-apples comparison is to look for the companies with ROEs better than the average or the median for their industry. This is going to help you find the top stocks in those groups.
All right. So this powerful indicator can be used then, as I kind of alluded to at the top, many different ways.
Many different ways, and I believe that when people understand the variables that go into ROE and how to really understand what it's used for, I really think it can help people with their stock picking, because it helps you identify the well-run companies.
Let's go through those screen parameters.
Okay. The screen I'm running this week, it's pretty simple, but I'm looking for companies where the ROE is greater than or equals to the average ROE over the last 5 years. I also want the ROE to be greater than or equals to the average ROE for their industry. So like we said, we want to find the companies that are top within their group. And as usual, I usually apply these parameters to the Zacks rank, and I am only applying these things to companies with a Zacks rank of a 1, which means we're looking at strong buys.
All right.
Got a bunch of stocks that came through. Here's 5.
Okay.
So we have Aeropostal, Hawaiian Holdings, Tech Data, Tower Group, and Valmont Industries. These are a lot of interesting companies, but all of these companies have demonstrated that management is doing a good job taking care of them.
Do you own any?
No.
Thought I could catch him. If you want to take a look at some of the other stocks in the so-called bunch that came through, then get on over to Zacks.com's homepage and scroll down the homepage until you see Kevin's picture. Click on the headline next to it. the headline will have something to do with return on equity. You can bet on that. It'll take you right to all of that information, and you could review the parameters of the screen if you want to as well. Don't forget, Kevin uses the powerful Research Wizard backtesting software program to achieve all of his screens that he talks about here on Screen of the Week and that he writes about. And so you want to check that out too. More information on Research Wizard, you can go to Zacks.com/Research Wizard, find out all about it, and even call in and talk to some of Kevin's people. If you have any other questions that are not covered there, they'll be happy to answer them for you. With Kevin Matras and the Screen of the Week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.